Again, yeah, I thought we did a good job getting shots to the net. When you look at the shot totals, I think it was almost 2-1. And just kind of the way that we played. We were able to generate 4 good lines tonight, and for the most part keep the lines rolling. And I thought every line did a good job contributing to the game.
Speaking of the lines, with the absence of Chungman Lee, you did have to shuffle, I believe, every single line. Yeah. How do you feel about the return of Brett Budgell on that second line, and putting Tedesco and Kalinokovic together?
Well, Brett Budgell, you don't replace a Brett Budgell. You do that by committee, and you do that with all the other 11 forwards. So to get Budgie back makes a huge difference to our lineup. We have, with him and Mats, we're very fortunate to have that 1A, 1B centerman. So obviously very happy to have him return. Obviously the hit at the end of the first was pretty dangerous in my opinion, and after looking at it, I thought it was. But the ref saw it differently. But again, yeah, that's the great thing about this league. It's that next man up mentality, and you never know when you're going to find chemistry within a line, and it can happen at the things you least predict. So it was good to see the 4 lines and work together, and I thought our changes were good, and then our puck management was good, and we really played a good 60-minute game.
It was the debut of Chris Ortiz, loaning from Hartford. How do you feel his play? I mean, obviously 2 assists.
Yeah, Chris Ortiz is elite for this level. There's no two ways about it. We're very fortunate to have him, and then in the same breath to have Setoff. We feel like, not to take anything away from any of our D or any of the other D around the league, but we're very fortunate to have those 2 guys in our lineup. And his ability to make plays, Chris, and his ability to find space on the ice, and just his ability to distribute pucks, and he's got a great shot, and he defends hard, and gave us very valuable minutes. It's a good situation for right now.
Do you feel that his presence on the top pair was a difference in the transition game tonight? It seemed a lot cleaner, the zone exits.
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. I mean, again, if you had a defenseman of Chris Ortiz's ilk, like your game's going to get a lot better. But again, I don't want to take away anything from the other 5 defensemen that we have. We're very fortunate. We've talked about this a lot in terms of it was Dan and I's priority over the summer to rebuild our D-core, and we're really fortunate to have the guys that we have back there. We really think that we have a good mixture between size and physicality and puck distributors, and just really, really good people back there.
Final question. Dryden McKay, seems like he's picking up right where he left off last season.
Yeah, he's great. He's great. Dries is the best. He's again, we feel very good about our goaltending situation, and again, we're very lucky to have him in our net.
Backing off that, with also how the defense has been starting to look like they're gelling a bit more and having a nice fortune of defense. Season low 40 or 20 shots faced. What can you say to attribute to that?
Again, I think it's a total team effort. We talked a lot about this. They're a team that likes to create off the rush. So it's important that our forwards reloaded in the offensive zone in order for our D to have really, tight gaps through the neutral zone. So when our forwards do that, it allows our Ds then to do what they need to do. And then all of a sudden you've got, a 5-man attack and a 5-man defensive system, and, you're in pretty good shape at that point.